grounded out, and then second shot at him, though, in the 10th. He had a 3-run homer. 3-1. And he grounds it foul. Sobek on the year, hitting .314 with 3 homers and 19 driven in.
You know, we're talking about the Big 12 Conference here, Bill. With Missouri winning last night, became the only conference to have 7 30-game winners.
Yeah, and part of the reason for is this one misses and a base runner for A&M with 2 outs, Sobek on the walk. Part of the reason the conference going to 8 teams is because of the strength of this league. I think the NCAA committee would look sometimes and say, now, wait a minute, if you couldn't qualify for your conference tournament, why do you think you should be in the NCAA? Well, the NCAA's expanded to 64 teams as well, so it gives a team an opportunity. Missouri is a great example. Ball club comes in, may finish in the lower half. They may win that tournament or do very well and knock off an A&M, and that may get them into the NCAA tournament.
Well, you remember 4 or 5 years ago, Tech won 40 games and didn't get an invitation. I mean, that's tough.
0-1.
DJ struggling a little bit here suddenly. 3 of 6 batters he's faced here, he's gone to a full count on, and they're going to call that a balk. The rule states that a left-hander has to step more toward home than he does toward first, and you see this was a real nice balk move.
Right in between, wasn't it? Like, yeah, wait a minute.
They just caught him. Not often the left-hander will get caught for that. Umpire is telling him what he did wrong as if he didn't know.
Catcher Anderson out to visit with him. Catcher ever calling for the pickoff?
Yeah, he'll call to throw over there occasionally, and usually they'll stick a hand fist down with a thumb and then rotate it over so that the thumb is going toward first and just telling you to toss over.
Sam Anderson behind the plate with DJ Jones pitching.
Basically, the catcher isn't telling you to pick him off, it's just hold him close. So I've got a chance. Ooh, there was a nice little pitch. Hitter Schumacher right there, just starting to crowd the plate.
1-2 to Schumacher. Sean from Carthage, Texas. Transfer from the University of Texas. He had .307 last year here for the Longhorns. You know this series is big for him. Up the middle, and maybe driving in the first run of the day. Yes, sir. So Schumacher, the Aggie, puts A&M on the board with an RBI single.
And this shows what speed on a base pass will do to an opposing team. We'll see the ground ball hit right here back up the middle to score the runner Sobek, but Sobek got on with a walk, and we see him coming around third here to score. But the intimidation, knowing he's got the speed to steal second, DJ Jones balked going toward first base. We see Augie Garrido out talking to him right now on the mound, and set up that run right there, put him in scoring position.
Coach Garrido, 4-time National Coach of the Year. He's won 3 national championships, had 2 stays at Cal State Fullerton. Sandwiched in between was 3 years at the Big Ten's University of Illinois, and his 3rd season here at Texas. And certainly the foundation has been set here for the Longhorns, and they'll be headed to the tournament. Big 12 tournament coming up May 19th to the 23rd. Jot that number down there, and we'll have a chance to show it to you again later on. 405-236-5000. 405-236-5000. Jim, I know last year you were up at the Bricktown. You and Greg Lucas calling the game up there yesterday. Just hard to beat that setting, isn't it?
I'll tell you what, it is an awesome ballpark, and it's hard to believe it's a AAA ballpark. There's a pop-up to short left center field.
Scarborough lifting it high and coming all the way over from left is Pumo to make it in front of Emo. And the Aggies, though, get on the board with an RBI single from Schumacher.
Have you seen it? The topic of every tree's whisper. The reason the stars twinkle. What every wing caresses. Look for it and you will fail to see it, even as it surrounds you. It's in our first breath, our last, and every breath in between. It is precious, this invisible thing called air, which is why we try in little ways to protect it. It's just something to think about the next time
this.
And yet, so far away. Dr. Pepper, the taste.
He's so happy.
No one else can take his place. And
Hey, I know that guy.
You're lonesome tonight.
This year, Big 12 athletes are lining up, not only on the field of play, but to support another group of athletes, Special Olympians. Each year, athletes, coaches, and administrators from across the conference participate in a variety of Special Olympic activities, from tennis to swimming to track and field. The Big 12 Conference and Special Olympics have formed a winning partnership.
Some sports are better for the heart.
Special Olympics and the Big 12 Conference, a partnership for life.
Good background music, you know.
1-0 Texas A&M over the University of Texas. We go to the bottom of the second as Augie Garrido will see his 4, 5, and 6 hitters come to the plate. We mentioned Garrido with 1,236 victories, the winningest all-time coaches. Well, his predecessor here at the top of the list, Cliff Gustafson, Rod Dedeaux, Ron Frazier, retired, Jack Stallings, Georgia Southern, and Augie Garrido at 1,236 and climbing quickly.
He really bit the bullet last year, too. Texas hadn't had a losing season in nearly 50 years, and he decided to go with the kids, give them some experience, and we're seeing the result of it this year. I mean, really a good decision.
Well, they started off 22-8, 8-1 in the Big 12, and then things got a little tougher. And you mentioned that sometimes he said, still being young, we're playing great as the underdog, but then when we ran up the record in the nice ranking, all of a sudden we're the favorite again, which is what Texas had been used to. But he said many of these kids weren't used to that, so there's been somewhat of an adjustment period. And they've settled down here, splitting the first 2 of this series, and showed some moxie last night and being down 6-1, but coming back to tie it up before going into extra innings and losing.
Well, he's a big teacher of fundamentals. It's not a tough game. He doesn't really look at a power game. He wants to do the little things, teach the kids fundamental baseball, and it's something they'll carry with him forever, and he's put a lot of major leaguers on the field.
Jason Moore, now 3-1. Moore actually getting a second look at Matt Ward. He was at the plate when Cox was picked off of first to end the first. So now Moore 3-1 against Ward. Strike 2, and we'll go to the full count. And even though Ward is a guy not known for walking, Texas hitters are still being patient. They're making him throw strikes.
Well, and you're trying to make him throw pitches, too. You see Matt Ward here. You want him to throw pitches, so he's going to make mistakes late in the game. There he paints the pitch down and in on the inside corner. You're trying to guess outside half the plate. You see the catcher move inside, and boy, he hits the glove right at the knees for strike 3.
His second strikeout. So Ward saying, don't you know I don't walk people. 3-2, you just crank it up, start swinging. It'll be a strike. Here's Sam Anderson, the catcher for the University of Texas.
Matt Ward can throw more strikes in a game than I threw in half a minor league season, you know.
Anderson right at the shortstop. Scarborough. Thing was hit so hard, all he had to do was knock it down. Normally you think of that at second base, but Scarborough knocks it down and throws out Anderson. 2 up, 2 down.
Just dribbled it once, we see here. Then threw the man out. This was an absolute bullet at him. Stayed in front of it. Got glove and stomach on it. Made the throw to first base and still beat him by 4 or 5 steps. Good play.
Brings up Jeff Ontiveros, the 6-foot, 220-pound freshman from nearby Round Rock. And Ontiveros, guy with great power. He showed it here last night. A tremendous home run that tied this game up in the 5-run 8th inning. He had a 2-run homer with 2 strikes that got out of here in a hurry.
You see that low inside, low outside. Ontiveros isn't arguing. He was just guessing. A lot of good hitters will guess until they have 2 strikes. They're not necessarily guessing the pitch. They're guessing the location of the pitch.
Ontiveros went for one just out of the strike zone that time. 3 up, 3 down inning for Matt Warren and the Aggies. They come up leading 1-0.
Is this not the face of possibility, of objectivity, of integrity? There is another world far from the numbers that you know, where the future of your business lies just beyond your vision, where opportunity dances at the edge of your understanding. All of this can I see. What can you see?
The CPA. You see numbers, we see opportunity.
I had to replace my old air conditioner. I wanted one to save me money.
So he called me, Scott Sawyer of Ainsworth & Company, your local dealer.
He recommended an air conditioner that would save me 20%. Do I hear 30 now, 40 now, 50 now, 60% going once, twice to the Lennox dealer who recommended high efficiency system that would save me money.
Yep, save up to 60%. Or my name's not Scott Sawyer.
You sure are a man of few words.
Just trying to be efficient.
Lennox, one less thing to worry about.
See the chain stores, then see us. Cellular phones, pagers, car stereos at low, low prices. We guarantee Envirotech Electronics will meet or beat their price on brand name electronics like Alpine, Kenwood, Rockford, JL, Clarion, and Precision Power. Don't believe the big boys until you've seen our huge selection of mobile electronics. We employ only MECP certified employees, so you can trust your car to us. Don't delay. See us today. Envirotech Electronics, your mobile electronics specialist.
This is Fox Sports Net Southwest.
Mark Johnson's Aggies with a 1-0 lead. Johnson with over 650 victories in his coaching career, his 15th year at Texas A&M. Big 12 Coach of the Year last year. Now we're looking at winning percentages among active coaches. Wichita State's Gene Stevenson at the top, followed by Mike Martin, Skip Bertman from LSU, and then Johnson at 707. Impressive indeed, and rewarded for that work, be coaching the Team USA this summer.
And I mean, an excellent coach too. He's one of those coaches, if you had a kid, you'd want him to go because he's half father, and you know, when you need a pat in the back, you get it. When you need a kick in the posterior, you get it. And he's just able to develop these players, and all of his players really like him.
This one off the glove of third baseman Hauser, and the shortstop Moore couldn't react. And aboard is Steve Leonard. Base hit for Leonard, the third hit for the Aggies.
The only place there's bad turf hops is if it's able to hit right on the edge of the dirt. Sometimes that seam will get him. That ball hit right in front of the plate, and it looks like a third baseman Hauser just took his eye off that ball before it was in the glove. Can't afford to give the Aggies these extra outs.
And here's another single. Truitt, who led off the ball game with a base hit, is now 2 for 2. So A&M with a 1-0 lead and got the first two aboard here in the top of the third.
Well, DJ Jones is getting them to hit ground balls. That's the plus here. Got a good chance for a double play. And you won't see a lot of those ground balls go for home runs.
Jones will be working on Sean Heaney now.
I wonder if that bat is some type of tip-off, what they're thinking about. It says Omaha.
Well, A&M went there in '93 under Mark Johnson. He would love to get him back. Hauser makes the play, works like a sacrifice, but he doesn't get credit for it. And there's one out with Truitt moving to second, and at third, Steve Leonard.
Well, you're looking for the double play, but you'll definitely take outs. That first ground ball that Leonard hit went off the glove of third baseman Hauser, and that's giving him a fourth out. You can't afford to give him an extra out, which is another 33%. You're going to lose doing that.
And now Jones' predicament becomes even more difficult because Dalen Holt is stepping in. Holt hit that hard shot right back off of Jones. It deflected to the second baseman, and Jones says, I think I'll put you on. 26 homers, 79 RBIs. Let's load him up. Take my chances with Cheshik.
Only 74 hits and a .354 average, yeah. Although you aren't doing a whole lot better with Cheshik either. You're looking at a man that's hitting .351 with 8 home runs and 41 ribbies. This could be a big turning point.
So Holt gets his 5th intentional walk of the year, and it brings up Cheshik. Well, how much of that, Jim, is, all right, we'll load the bases, we got to force anywhere, and also we got a left-hander?
Well, when you've got somebody like Cheshik up, probably that's got to be 50% of it, because you got an excellent hitter here. You don't want to face Dalen Holt, but you really are playing the percentages going left-hander against left-hander. Nibbling the outside corner. Good little breaking ball there.
Cheshik, leading off the second with a ground out to third, is now 1 for 8 in the series. His Holt is 3 for 8. So they'll take their chances with a lefty on lefty. 1-1, 1 out. Bases full of Aggies. Texas A&M with a 1-0 lead on an RBI single from Schumacher in the second. Wanting more against DJ Jones here in the third. Del Lindsay on deck for A&M. Cheshik slaps it up the middle. That'll score 2. 1 for sure. The throw in, and they will cut it off. 3-0 Texas A&M. Cheshik makes him pay.
Cheshik did a great job of hitting right there, too. Another breaking ball in the outside corner. He just reached out and punched it. Really didn't try to hit it hard, just tried to get it through the infield. Did a great job of dropping it in front of the center fielder for 2 RBIs.
Leonard scoring the first run. Truitt follows immediately after. Holt goes to second, and Cheshik aboard with a 2 RBI single. And John Cheshik is now driven in 43 runs on the season as Mark Johnson has got more power on the way. Del Lindsay stepping up. Lindsay with 12 homers and 47 RBIs. He was a strikeout victim, the only one to go down on strikes against Jones. That was in the second. So first and second, 2 in, 1 out.
Catcher got hung up there with the signals. You see him just motioning to the pitcher to step off.
Jones misses on the first pitch, ball 1.
What you use there is a series of signs with a man on second base, and takes a little acclimation to get it right. You'll see the last sign, he'll usually point to the position he wants the ball thrown. You see him pointing inside right there with the fastball.
2-0.
Jones has struggled here the last couple innings. Is up over 40 pitches now. We see for Texas Ryan France down the bullpen getting ready right now. Texas isn't going to let this get out of hand. You see Augie coming out, talking to DJ. He's probably talking some strategy, but he's probably doing a lot of stalling too.
And Garrido continue to visit. And Augie, you talked about fundamentals, and always plays. Baseball is such a mental game, Jim, and he really works that with his players too. He really teaches the game, as well as there's more to it than just baseball.
Yeah, so you got to think 2 or 3 pitches ahead, and runners, you've got to think about where they're going. Infielders, you got to think about what they're going to do with the ball before they get the ball. The mental side is big too, and some people just teach fundamentals, but these coaches that are winning 600 to 1,000 games are teaching a whole lot more than fundamentals.
Let's look ahead to the schedules here. First of all, Texas A&M upcoming. They finish at Oklahoma, not next weekend, but the following weekend, and then they'll just stay in Oklahoma City for the Big 12 tournament.
And that's bad news for Oklahoma that's trying to make it.
Yeah, Oklahoma going to have to step it up if they're going to. The Aggies will be wanting to clinch a regular season title. They won it last year at 21-9. They're 20-5 coming in here today, and they lead this 3-0 with runners at first and second, 1 out, and Lindsay with a 3-0 on the way. 3-1.
But just enough to be wild.
Lindsay to the shortstop. Moore quickly to first, and the double play takes care of the Aggies in the 3rd inning. But not before A&M tacks on 2 more. And we played 2.5. Longhorns trail 3-0.
Who makes the finest tools in the lawn care business? Echo, of course. Make spring cleanup chores easy with Echo's full chainsaw line. Make quick work of tilling beds and gardens with the easy starting cultivator. For the professional look, use the top-rated Echo blower line, or use a shred and vac for easy disposal. Echo. Now you can use the same tools the pros use. Available at
Hi, everybody. I'm Dan Deardorff. Where would you go for a home equity loan? Let's ask.
Well, banks have the best rates.
But banks only lend money when you don't need it.
Advanta National Bank is different. They lend money to people when they need it.
Right. With my credit?
They made their first loans 45 years ago to teachers who had trouble borrowing. They helped out when others wouldn't.
This is a bank, right?
With customers who get the flexibility only a national bank can offer, right over the phone.
Got to move all your accounts there.
Nope, just call Advanta. One of their loan specialists will show you how to use the equity in your home to pay off all of your bills. Get one low monthly payment and save hundreds of dollars a month, plus a tax deduction.
You'll wait for some board to approve.
You'll get fast approval over the phone. And your money in about 10 days. You don't need to have money in the bank to get money from a bank. To get one, call Advanta at 1-800-707-5276. You'll see they're different. Hey, they don't keep bankers' hours either.
Crowd filling Dish Falk Field, but not a lot to yell about yet for the Longhorn fans. And yeah, you can see some Aggie shirts in there as they made the trip over from College Station. And Texas A&M with Matt Ward back to the mound to go against the 7, 8, and 9 hitters for the University of Texas.
You know,
Texas.
I'm sorry, Bill, but you're talking about how big of a series this is. 11,000 people at College Station on Friday night. They said the bleachers were filled at 5 o'clock for a 7 o'clock game.
Yeah, remember, only 84-52 officially in the ballpark. Ground ball to short on the first pitch, and Prumo grounds out to Scarborough for the opening out. Yeah, 8,452 officially at A&M, but over 11,000 as you look at the play here by Scarborough. And then last night, 6,681 here, a sellout, and they were standing, they had trucks out here, much like they do with the Aggie Alley over at College Station, where people were, and they again are back today with the U-Hauls behind the right field fence.
Yeah, this is U-Haul Alley this afternoon.
As Texas trying to, it's not a bad way to go, is it, huh?
That's a nice backdrop, too, the new softball stadium. You've done some games over there. It's a beautiful park.
McCombs Field, just a tremendous setup here. And they've got a fine program to match it. Facility's not a problem here at the University of Texas, as among the leaders nationally when it comes to that. In fact, I believe the other day they mentioned that they've already approved or are very close to approving $300,000 for improvements here at Dish Falk Field. As Augie Garrido knows, as nice as this place is, when you look at what else is going on around the league, you better keep it going, or even a University of Texas can slip.
Well, have you made it over to the soccer field and the track over here, the new one?
Incredible. And it is top-notch. Hauser up the middle. Scarborough makes the play. 2 up, 2 down. Matt Ward.
You might say he's got a wee bit of range, you know?
Yeah,
I mean, look at this play. Drifting all the way back behind second base, throwing on the run. That's why you put that good arm and that good range at shortstop. Second base is just a little flip over there. Good range helps the second, but third base is really your best athlete on the infield because he's got to have range and an arm.
Mark Johnson brags about him defensively, and he's living up to it in what we've seen here today. This is Steve Woodward. Woodward, the DH. And Ward trying to go through the first 3 facing the minimum. Nicholson reached him for a single, but then was picked off.
So you're saying that's one Scarborough was not fair, huh?
You know, they warned me. They told me. They said, you know what? Greg Lucas says, no, I'm only working once with him this weekend. Bill, you take the Texas game. Oklahoma was enough. That was over 3 hours of him.
3 hours and 26 minutes.
We split up Emu, folks. That's what we did, you know, just in doses.
I don't blame you. I swing
254 for Woodward.
You two do make a great straight man.
Well, that's why Bill Thornall, director, and Lee Friday, our producer, said, we want to stay in the truck. We don't want to get any closer than we have to. Base hit by Woodward with 2 out, and he's aboard here in the 3rd inning. Longhorns got some work to do. They're down 3-zip, back to the top of the order, and Ben Emo.
See right here, he got inside, trying to get the head of the bat out, hit it about trademark high. Looks, we'll get another look at it here. Catcher setting up inside, just above the trademark, but with that aluminum, just kind of shucked it out to right field. Texas got a runner on first base now.
Emo, the strikeout victim to lead off the game. Ward has gotten 3 on the strikes. Texas crowd getting into it a bit.
You know the good thing, though, after my wife has lived with me for 29 years, she's already achieved sainthood.
Yeah. Says something, you can still call her your wife.
Yeah, really. Well, road trips, that's what kept it together.
Fouled off here. Bill Land and Jim Kern with you on Fox Sports Net. Yeah, we talked about yesterday. You guys had a great game up at the University or at Bricktown, Oklahoma City. 13,000 there, sold out. 11,000 in that series Friday night in Tulsa. They'll be sold out again today if they're able to take care of the weather up there. And 2 sellouts here with the 3rd one here today, obviously. Just tremendous. A&M and Baylor set attendance records a couple of weeks ago when they played, and they split that between Waco and College Station. Baylor Stadium about done. It's only going to get better, folks.
Well, and you really want to watch some college baseball if you haven't watched it much. College baseball has come a long ways in the last 20 years. It is actually either a strong A or a weak AA class baseball. Some great players, and it's throwing some good players into the major league ranks where they only have to spend a year or 2 in the minor leagues fine-tuning them, where if you come out of high school, you'll spend any place from 3 to 5. It really has become a good producer, and I don't think there's anything better than Big 12 baseball.
3-1, strike 2 to Ben Emo. Well, and the bat restrictions, I think, are slowly taking effect. The scoring is not quite what it was a year ago, so that is certainly helping.
Well, you still have your big guys hitting home runs. It's the little guys that aren't. They're driving the ball back up the middle and trying to kill the pitchers like they did right there. Ball was hit hard back up the middle. Texas trying to get something going with 2 outs. This is the big thing. 46% of all Texas runs have been scored with 2 outs, and they're doing it again. Don't ever let down on Texas, and they're hard to put away.
Back-to-back singles, and Emo keeps inning alive and also moves Woodward into scoring position at second. As here's Tommy Nicholson. He has the other hit for the University of Texas. They've been out hit 4-3, trail 3-0, but a chance to get on the board here. Nicholson.
Had an opportunity to see one of the people that make Big 12 baseball great, too, and that's Bo Carter yesterday in Oklahoma City. Fine individual.
The guru of college baseball when it comes to whatever you might want to know, whether it's important or not.
Yeah, if you don't want to know, don't ask him, because you will find out in depth.
Bo, the Big 12 PR man who does such a great job. Well, it's really been fun this year working throughout the Big 12 conference and letting the people get the opportunity to see the Big 12 during the regular season, and we cap it off with, of course, the tournament title game on Fox Sports Net.
Didn't you tell me that you asked him a question, just dropped a line about who is the 54 player of the year or whatever?
Yeah, from Southwest Conference, and left him a message. He thought I was serious. Called Ballas Carl Warwick. How could you forget him? Played with the Cardinals, Bill. To the second baseman, and the Aggies get out of a jam. Nicholson grounds to Heaney, and it's still 3-0 A&M after 3.
For the most part, people look to their cars as a way to get where they're going. And if your car doesn't perform, well, you could end up somewhere you don't want to be. We don't want that. That's why for nearly 80 years, people from far and wide have counted on Phillips to get them on their way. Mile after mile, year after year. For all the miles to come, Phillips 66, the performance company.
Excuse me, number 8 bus go there. About number 9.
Who are you looking at?
dry cleaners wouldn't take a check again, eh, Nigel?
Use Visa Check Card. It automatically deducts from your checking account everywhere Visa's accepted, so you can get what you need and get on with life. Make all of your shopping easier with the Bank of America Check Card.
Tinting your car windows is a good defense against the sun's dangerous UV rays. And it's a good way to keep your car cooler.
And now, with Formula One window film, you don't have to worry about the film bubbling, turning purple, or changing the look of your car.
It's practically invisible.
And every Formula One installation has a lifetime warranty.
Now that's comforting.
Call 1-888-994-FILM for the Formula One team member near you.
Eric Sobek will lead things off for Texas A&M. The Aggies 1 in the second, 2 in the third. And Sobek will go against DJ Jones, who has given up 4 hits and struck out 1. And he's walked 1 here. Walked 2 in the first 3 innings. And if you are scoring, they have changed. Steve Leonard, who led off the third with what was ruled as a base hit, they ruled that an error. So as a result, Leonard later scoring as an unearned run towards to Jones. First pitch single to left field for Sobek, who's 1 for 1. So Sobek had the big 3-run homer last night. Walked, scored a run the first time today, and then a single here to lead things off in the fourth. Sean Schumacher, who drove in Sobek with a single to center. Sobek was balked to second base. Then Schumacher with a single up the middle.
Well, as we talked earlier, the DHS day early in the game for A&M was Porter with good power, 7 home runs. Sobek came in and pinch hit for him late in the game, but we've got to keep an eye out. If it's close, you could see Porter late in this game.
Yeah, and if they come back with a right-hander, then talking about Texas, then Mark Johnson will most likely come back with Porter. Schumacher, 1 for 1. Sean, 4 for 8 with 2 RBIs in the series. A high chopper, could be 2. Moore, Trotaveros takes care of it.
The pitcher's best friend. See here, a little ground ball on the infield, hard enough to allow the second baseman to turn a quick double play, or at least get it started. And suddenly, you've thrown half a dozen pitches, and there's 2 outs in the inning.
And the second double play of the game for the University of Texas. Got him out of the third inning. Jones now going to work on Steve Scarborough, the shortstop.
Just got to tell you something, though. You're getting deep into that Aggie lineup. Batting number 7th, hitting .318, only 64 hits and 30 RBIs.
Aggies coming in hitting .321 as a ball club, 5th in the league. They average 11 runs a game. Texas 7th in the league at .301, averaging 8 runs a game.
And the Aggies have this bad tendency of only giving up 4 runs a game.
Moore, not in time, couldn't pick it up off the bounce, and Scarborough is aboard.
That's something you're very seldom going to see, is an error by Jason Moore. Very solid infielder. Breaking ball down and away. Hit on a 2-hop. Quick. You see right there, Moore plays it off to the side. The reason he did that is you give up the ability to stay in front of it and keep the ball in front of you. But by the same token, when you play it off to the side, you've already got your back foot planted, and you can make a quicker, harder throw to first base.
And on a play like that, where it seems to be routine, even though it's sharply hit, that's not all bad.
No,
it
isn't.
In between hop where you want to get the body in front, right?
Yep. And he'll make that 19 out of 20 times. Of course, we're televising the 20th time.
Yeah, he says, doggone it. Here's Steve Leonard, who reached on the air by Hauser. So a double play erases Sobek, but then Scarborough getting by on the air. And the soft stuff. Putting Leonard now in a 1-2 hole.
Kind of like when we were kids, you know, you used to steal cookies, but you learned real quick it wasn't good to do it in front of Mom.
Leonard, 1-2, 2 out. Fouls this one off out of play. Leonard started the day hitting just 167, 2 home runs and 5 RBIs. Senior from San Antonio out of MacArthur High School, a co-captain on the Aggies. And he's figuring that's the kind of year I'm having. I get a base hit and then they change it to an error. You know, why do you think I'm hitting 167, Coach?
That's right.
I'm not getting any breaks.
Trying to take away half my hits. This type of team player you need on the team, though. The senior that's a bit player and not afraid to come in and do what he can when they need him.
Graduated from A&M in December with a degree in business management. Steve Leonard battle him here 1-2 as he's trying to stay alive with 2 down, 1 on. Aggies lead at 3-0. Top of the 4th here in Austin. A&M won yesterday. Texas won in College Station on Friday. The throw down, safe with a stolen base is Steve Scarborough, beating Sam Anderson's throw.
That makes him 7 stolen bases out of 11 attempts. Not a bad pitch to throw down to second base either. High up in the strike zone, gives the catcher a good chance to get it quickly and get it down to second. Just a good jump by Scarborough.
Got him in scoring position, and Leonard again fouling it off. I mean, that kind of shows you the quality here. Here's a guy who's hitting below 200, who with 2 strikes against a left-hander that's mixing it up. He fouls 3 balls off in a row, Jim, and sometimes those guys don't get enough credit.
No, and that makes the pitcher work. You hate, as a pitcher, hitters like this, that you make those good pitches and they eventually put the ball in play.
He flies out to center to end the inning. So we've got 3.5 played, 3-0 A&M.
Tee it up every week with Golf Texas as host Bill Worrell takes you on a tour of the state's finest courses with special guests, tips from the pros, and courses you'll want to play on your next golfing excursion.
I bet you don't get this kind of view every day you tee it up with your friendly foursome.
And this season, Golf Texas takes you behind the scenes for a special preview of the PGA Tour stops in Houston, Dallas, and Fort Worth. Golf Texas, Saturday mornings at 10 on Fox Sports Net Southwest.
Thanks, Houston. Once again, you've made Fingers your #1 Sealy dealer. And now we're saying thank you with a special customer appreciation sale with no interest for up to 2 full years. I guarantee nobody beats Fingers prices on Sealy Posturepedics, Crown Jewels, and Sealy Kids Beds. And now you can rest easy with no interest for up to 2 full years. It's our way of saying thank you for making Fingers Houston's #1 Sealy dealer. The customer appreciation sale is at your fingers.
It's the Supermart Truckload 2-for sale. We've ordered in truckload after truckload of 2-for specials. Truckloads of Italian silk ties. Get 2 for $17. Truckloads of imported designer suits. Get 2 for $190. Because if you want 2-fers, then you want Supermart.
Supermart, 3 locations, including 7501 Harlem. Down.
Clippers Rockets tonight at 7 on Fox Sports Net Southwest.
Texas down 3-0 as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Bill Land, Jim Kern with you here. Elsewhere around the Big 12, Missouri leading Iowa State 5-0 in the 4th in Columbia. Kansas State leading Kansas 4-0 in the top of the 4th. That one in Lawrence, Oklahoma and Oklahoma State later on. So K-State and Oklahoma still battling for that number 8 slot to get into the tournament.
Oklahoma's going to have to struggle here now that they're half a game out, and Kansas is playing good again today, because when A&M goes up and play, it's going to be a tough road to hold.
Yeah, A&M trying to lock up the championship.
It's very important, too, with A&M and Baylor, because they're so close, and Baylor's playing well. Both of them have to really sweep the series to have a chance here.
Jason Cox leading it off here in the 4th. Got under it to center field on the 2-1. Truitt is there and makes the play, and there's one down. So for Texas A&M, counting today's game, 4 games to go, and magic number 3, Aggies can claim the title, 3 wins in Final Four, or with losses by Baylor and Texas Tech. Final 3 games are at Oklahoma. They take final exams between now and then. And the other factor is Tech getting rained out of its last 2 games with Nebraska. So that hurts Tech's ability to come back. Base hit by Moore.
Well, Oklahoma State was saying yesterday, we were talking to Tom Holliday, and he said that they were going to play 3 games next week sometime because they had gotten rained out, and they're trying to get to that 40-win level they've been for the last 19 consecutive years. And so they're going to play the total of their schedule of 56 games are allowed to try to win 40.
But in the conference, if you don't get them in a certain time frame and there's some restrictions there, then you do not make those games up. In Oklahoma State's case, he's talking about just getting some non-conference games to get enough victories that will impress the committee. Oklahoma State going into tonight's game 33-13.
And they've really been hot. They're 26-6 in their last 32 games.
Sam Anderson, the hitter here for the University of Texas. Anderson, the catcher, grounded out in the second. Got 1 down here in the 4th as Texas not on the board yet against Matt Ward. Ward has been touched for 4 hits, but he doesn't walk hitters. He has struck out 3. And that's the other part that sometimes is really hard to convince. Jim, you work with a lot of youngsters that letting them hit the ball is not a bad thing. And it keeps your fielders moving. Even when there's base hits, now they're alert and awake, and Ward has worked with that today.
The only time letting him hit the ball is a bad situation is in tennis. I mean, you've got to also look here, as well as Matt Ward is pitching here. Aggies have a kid named Chris Ward in the bullpen. 21 appearances this year, only started 2 games, and he has this nice little record. Chris Russ, 11-1. Unbelievable record out of the bullpen. The Aggies calling the vulture. The ground ball going to try to turn 2, and good play.
Lindsey bobbled it, but had enough on it. He goes to Heaney and then to Cheshik, and Anderson grounds into an inning-ending double play for the University of Texas. We played 4, 3-0 A&M.
Lime and melon. So bold, it's fierce. Why they call it the K's, baby?
This year, Big 12 athletes are lining up, not only on the field of play, but to support another group of athletes, Special Olympians. Each year, athletes, coaches, and administrators from across the conference participate in a variety of Special Olympic activities, from tennis to swimming to track and field. The Big 12 Conference and Special Olympics have formed a winning partnership.
Some sports are better for the heart.
Special Olympics and the Big 12 Conference, a partnership for life.
You know what I want.
Yeah, me too.
Don't come back with that one. You know what I want. And don't come back with that one.
Only got the one.
Don't come back with that one.
Where's the next store? Yuma, 150 miles. Oh, too bad. Have you ever been to Yuma?
3-0 Texas A&M on Fox Sports Net Southwest here in Austin, Texas. DJ Jones, Texas pitcher, to the mound in the 5th. The Aggies start things at the top of the order. That means Stephen Truitt, Sean Heaney, and Dalen Holt coming up.
Well, and you can see DJ Jones has struggled here in the 2nd and 3rd innings. But it is nice when you struggle and give up 1 run in 1 inning and 2 in the next.
Truitt, 2 for 2. A couple of singles.
My idea of struggling on the mound was trying to find the soap in the shower after I struggled for an inning.
and it's now 2-0.
I can remember one day in minor league baseball, I gave up about five runs in 3 innings. The manager come out and said, "Kearney, I got to take you out." And I said, "But Pinky, I'm not tired." And he looked around and says, "Yeah, but the gall-darned outfielders are." That pretty much says it all.
They're worn out.
Yeah.
You've taken this let him hit it too far.
That's right.
Talking about that. Truitt on the handle, and again, I think Jones may have got a hand on it. Second baseman Nicholson is there to make the play, and there's one out in the 5th.
I'll tell you, that ball really had some funny spin on it. I think he hit it off the rubber cap on the end of the bat. We'll see right here. It looks like a changeup. He got way out in front of it, had some nasty spin on it when it went past DJ. Second baseman Heaney able to pick it up and throw him out. But when you're 50 feet away from that batter, when you let go of the ball and you're kind of bouncing up and down, it's awful hard to adjust.
He starts off Heaney outside, ball 1. Heaney is flied out and grounded out. Sean, number 2 hitter, be followed by Holt.
Ooh, changeup just off the plate. That's where you want to keep that changeup down in the strike zone. Schumacher does a good job moving around. You see he's giving signs on the inside half. And DJ wasn't able to get it there, but it's very important for that catcher to move. If you sat in the middle of the plate all the time and just move the glove, the pitcher will fall asleep on you. Good catchers will move in and out, set it up. See right there, he's talking to him all the way. Come on, throw it right to me, right to the chest. Up in the zone there for ball 4.
And with 1 out, Heaney working a walk to set it up for Dalen Holt. Holt intentionally walked in the 3rd, and it didn't work. Cheshik, a single up the middle to score 2 with the bases loaded.
Well, and see, we're getting into the bottom of the lineup now with 1 out. Heaney on first, 7 stolen bases and 9 attempts. You've got Hauser up.
No, we're talking Holt. Holt takes a pitch, ball 1.
2 brain cells working at peak efficiency here, Bill. I apologize.
It can get confusing, folks, believe me. 354 for Holt on the year. He drives it. Don't get a sore neck. Out of here.
That cleared both of those fences, the first and second fence.
Dalen Holt adds to his A&M home run record. Single season mark now at 27. And RBIs number 80 and 81. And yeah, the walks will kill you.
Yeah, big time. You see right here, we got the fastball up in the zone. Holt really reaches out front, grabs it, and it'll clear this second fence back here.
Texas A&M 5, Texas 0. Dalen Holt. And here's Cheshik. And certainly by Heaney gets the walk, and it just puts more pressure on Jones he can't be as fine with the next pitch, and Holt knows that. Got something he wanted and drives it.
He struggled a bit today. Cruised through the first inning, got the first batter out in the second with 1 pitch, and then ended up throwing about another 20 in the second inning.
And ball 4 here. And we had France up earlier for Texas. Got to wonder how much longer Garrido will go here.
I think this is it right here, to be honest. I think we've seen the end of DJ Jones. When Augie came out of the dugout, he looked over to the bullpen, make sure France was ready. Give me the ball. Yes.
Not playing any games here.
That's right. Give me the ball.
Read my lips. Tough day for DJ Jones. He gets a nice hand from the Texas fans. Aggies lead at 5-0 with a pitching change on the way.
Tee it up every week with Golf Texas as host Bill Worrell takes you on a tour of the state's finest courses with special guests, tips from the pros, and courses you'll want to play on your next golfing excursion.
I bet you don't get this kind of view every day you tee it up with your friendly foursomes.
And this season, Golf Texas takes you behind the scenes for a special preview of the PGA Tour stops in Houston, Dallas, and Fort Worth. Golf Texas, Saturday mornings at 10 on Fox Sports Net Southwest.
Soccer network on Earth, Fox Sports World. Call your local cable or satellite provider.
Pitching change for the Longhorns with the Aggies leading at 5-0 over Texas here in Austin. Bill and Jim Kern with you. And Ryan France is the new pitcher for the University of Texas. France, ace freshman. He is 6'2", 190. Came out of Westwood High School here in Austin. And he's on in relief of DJ Jones, who went 4 1/3 and gave up 5 runs and responsible for the man aboard. He did that on 6 hits. And here's the new man, Ryan France.
Ryan's done a good job this year and pitched a lot for a freshman. 43 innings, 2-1 with a 5.15 ERA. Has been in 23 games, started 9 games, has given up 50 hits in 43 innings. The league is batting .291 against him.
He came out of the bullpen last night to finish up in the 10th inning after Sopik had hit the home run to give A&M the 10-6 lead. France came in and got a couple of strikeouts and faced 3 hitters and only threw 11 pitches. His chore here, working on Dell Lindsey with 1 out, 1 on, and a 5-0 deficit. Lindsey, high foul ball.
Well, Texas is in the damage control state right now. It's important to them to shut the Aggies down here. They're 5 runs down, which is still manageable with 5 at-bats to go. But many more runs is going to get quickly out of control. They were able to come back last night from a 6-1 deficit to tie it up.
They may get that opportunity here again today, unfortunately for Texas fans, as France better be careful with Lindsey. Lindsey grounded into the double play in the 3rd and struck out. Here's the 1-1.
Ooh, boy, had him bailing big time on that pitch. Good off-speed pitch. You see here, Lindsey Cordell really pulled the hips out, opened up the shoulder. I think it would have taken a 9-iron to reach that one. It's the secret to pitching, is changing speeds and location. Another one right there.
Impressive as France strikes out Lindsey, his first hitter.
Same type of off-speed pitch here he struck him out on. Breaking ball down and away. You've got Cordell way out on that front foot. In front of the pitch and over top of it.
And Porter comes in for Sobek as we expected. Porter sees the right-handers, Sobek the lefties, and Porter, tremendous power. We have seen that with our own eyes last week against the University of Kansas with a big home run. He had a shot yesterday, dead center over the green monster. And if I remember, Dishfall Field opened up like 75. There's only been 25 balls that have cleared that green monster. Porter took care of that yesterday. Porter 1 for 3 with an RBI in that game yesterday. There's a look. We're talking, you know, it's one thing to hit the fence, Jim, but to clear with that extension In center field, you think Green Monster, everybody thinks Fenway. Whole different deal here. It really is a monster.
Well, Fenway's 305 down the line, and then a 50-foot monster. Here you're 400 with what looks to be a 20-foot monster. This is a blow to get it over dead center field.
Porter hitting his 7th home run yesterday. 316 hitter on the year. Tough play. Moore shows you his work and gets the force out at second place. Jason Moore flips to Nicholson after the good stop. And a fielder's choice for Porter as Cheshik is retired at second.
Cars do more than get you from one place to the next. They're part of memories forged in childhood. Special moments spent together. Fond farewells. But as we all know, the journey doesn't always go as planned. And that being the case, it's good to have the peace of mind you only get from a familiar face on the road. Owned by people you know. For all the miles to come, Phillips 66, the performance company.
They say for every boy and girl there's just one love in this whole world, and I know I found mine.
Oh. Here's an idea. With GTE Caller ID, you'll know exactly who's on the line. Nope, not the kids. So you can decide whether to pick up or not.
Mom? Dad? Home early. Hello? Is anybody here? Hello?
If you've ever wanted to explore the Information Highway, there's never been a better time, because right now you can take a test drive along Internet America for 60 days. No commitment, no risk, no hassle. No kidding. Just call 1-800-BE-A-GEEK to experience everything the Internet has to offer. But call now, because this offer ends soon. Internet America, 1-800-BE-A-GEEK.
Back in Austin at Dish Falk Field. Sellout crowd on hand here for Big 12 baseball at Texas A&M. 1 in the second, 2 in the third, 2 in the fifth. And Texas down 5-zip as the Longhorns come up in the bottom of 5. Jeff Ontiveros, the number 6 hitter today, followed by Mike Pumo and then Chris Hauser for the University of Texas. Ontiveros struck out in the second against Matt Ward. Ward, through the first 4 innings, has scattered 4 hits to Texas. He struck out 3. He's also got the help of a double play.
And he's had good stuff. He's able to put the ball where he wants to, in and out.
Come on, boy, get in the game.
He's baffled these Texas hitters.
Ontiveros goes for 1 out of the strike zone. And you see that sometimes. A guy comes in reputation of being a control pitcher. You make him prove it. He's done. They got deep in the count, and then you start thinking, well, everything he throws is over. And the next thing you know, you swing at a bad pitch or two.
Well, also, he's been having everything down in the strike zone that's hard to hit anything but a ground ball. You're looking for something to hit. You see the ball up in the strike zone, you tend to chase those bad ones. You just have no patience after a while. Little pop fly. Second baseman goes back. Heaney makes a good play.
Ontiveros fisted on that one, and Heaney, not an easy play at all.
Now, we see here Ward's been moving the ball in and out. Catcher coming way inside. We see Ontiveros trying to clear the hands there and get the barrel of the bat out. Just hits a weak little pop fly. Nearly in no man's land, but Heaney making a good play.
Pumo, ground out victim the last time. Scarborough, can he do it again? Yes.
Oh, what a gun.
We're seeing some fine shortstop play from both clubs today.
That's what we're talking about with the shortstop. Just got to have that good arm. Get your hands on the ball. We'll watch him plant that back foot. Now look at him come really over the top and get everything he can on it. Throw the runner out.
Leaves it up to Chris Hauser with nobody on and 2 down. Hauser grounded to Scarborough last time also. A&M coming in 20-5, leading the Big 12. Baylor at 18-6. Then Tech 17-6, and Texas 17-9.
The winner will be determined on winning percentage this year, seeing as how some games have been rained out and they won't have the same number of games played.
Correct, and there's a minimum amount of games you must play, and that's why people work so hard to get each and every series in. In the case of Nebraska and Texas Tech, they had a game suspended because of rain Friday night. They were going to pick it up Saturday. They could not, so it became a complete game. In fact, I think victory number 500 for Larry Hayes out there. It took 2 days to earn it. And then Nebraska, with finals coming up, had to leave in order to get back in time for Monday morning. So just one game played out of that series out in Lubbock.
Well, and you've got a window of, what, 3 days to play the 3 games in?
Correct.
And you can schedule when you come and go about as you wish. You just have that 3-day window.
And sometimes they'll try to double up, maybe play a doubleheader here to give them a little help, but it's not been easy. And the fly ball to center field, coming on. Held up a little bit more than 2 at first expected, but he makes the play, and Hauser's retired. A 3-up, 3-down inning for Ward.
VIP, America's #1 new action show, wants to make you a star. It's the VIP Star for a Day sweepstakes. Watch VIP and enter to win a trip to Hollywood to appear in a future episode with Pamela Anderson Lee. For details, pick up the May 10th issue of Sports Illustrated or log on to VIPsweepstakes.com. The VIP Star for a Day sweepstakes. Check your local listings for time and station.
Love their friendly atmosphere.
So impressed, we just purchased our second vehicle from them.
They didn't just stuff us into something we didn't want. This is our second vehicle from Bayshore Dodge.
Enjoy the down-home friendly atmosphere. It totally took the stress out.
This dealership reminds me of the way most businesses used to be but aren't anymore. I'm glad they've not forgotten to be wonderful to their customers. What do these people have in common? They all do business with Bayshore Dodge, a Daimler Chrysler 5-star dealership, doing things the right way for over 20 years.
How would you like to win $1 million during the Gallery Furniture Houston Rocket Shoot for $1 Million contest? Come out to Gallery Furniture right now, fill out a Save You Money Card application, and hit a 3-point shot on the Gallery Furniture basketball court, and you'll be eligible for the drawing to be the lucky person who can shoot for $1 million during the Houston Rockets' first playoff game at the Compaq Center. Hurry out today during the final days of the Gallery Furniture Houston Rockets Shoot for $1 Million contest. Last chance to qualify. Gallery Furniture and the Houston Rockets Shoot for $1 Million contest makes you money.
Clippers Rockets tonight at 7 on Fox Sports Net Southwest.
5-0 Texas A&M. Young Texas fan hoping his club can get into it. And A&M here in the top of the 6th inning with Schumacher, the former Longhorn, to lead it off. He is singled, driving in a run, and then grounded into a 4-6-3 double play. He's followed by Scarborough and Leonard, 7, 8, and 9. Onaveros, the toss, and France takes care of it for the first out. A&M got on the board first today. Our game summary: Ward has been effective with the 5 innings pitching and allowing just 4 hits. Hadn't walked a batter. Holt, the 2-run homer, is 27th of the year. Cheshik, a 2 RBI single when they walked Holt to get to him. And Jones left us after 4 1/3 with 6 hits, 5 runs, 4 of them earned. Number 8 hitter, Steve Scarborough, the shortstop, popped up, reached on an error. One down. One in the second for the Aggies, 2 in the third, 2 in the fifth. And here in the 6th with 1 out, the 1-1 on the way from Ryan France. France has faced 3 hitters. He came in after Chesick walked in the 5th. He struck out Lindsey, got a fielder's choice, and then to get out of the 5th, starts off with a ground on the first pitch. I like the looks of this youngster, Jim.
Yeah, he's got a good curveball, good fastball. He's going to be here a while, too, which is a plus for Texas. Running fastball there on the inside corner. With these underclassmen, it's just tough to see how they're going to react, not only talent-wise, but also situation-wise. You come in, you watch these college teams and college players for a long time, and it's a mental thing to believe you're as good as they are. Base on ball.
We brag about them, we jinx them. And the walk given up to Scarborough. Leonard will be pinch hit for, it appears, as Chad Hudson, I think, is coming up. Hudson, 5'10", 178 junior out of Forney, Texas, and Navarro Junior College. Hudson replacing Steve Leonard. 261 on the year with a pair of home runs and 15 RBIs. Chad Hudson.
Now the Aggies going to see if they can get something going here again. Pinch hit the left-hander against the right-hander. You'll probably see some of this transition when Texas started the left-hander. Aggies adjust their starting lineup around that left-handed pitcher. When you bring in a right-handed pitcher, you'll see A&M come back and adjust their lineup again around the right-hander.
Well, and it's worked well for Mark Johnson. It just shows the depth of his ball club. Good hitting, good fielding, and this one's thrown away on the pickoff attempt. And headed all the way to third base, Scarborough. Mark Johnson, coaching at third himself, holds him up there.
Well, Scarborough went back into the bag hard. Anaveras was kind of trying to block the bag. We'll see right here the pickoff move. Anaveras tries to get down and block it. Scarborough hits him and kind of rolls him, which doesn't allow Anaveras to get up quickly to get to the ball, allowing Scarborough to go around second and down to third. Take two bases on that.
And again,
pitch.
Jim, that's where the turf plays in here too, that any ball that gets by somebody, it's going to the fence here, because you're talking like rolling on concrete, and there's a lot of room to roam from the foul lines to out of play. And A&M taking advantage of it there. There's no question he's going to go to third. It was just, could he come home?
Well, actually, they are rolling on padded concrete when you get right down to it. Texas has a big advantage playing on this field because it's about the only one in the Big 12 I can think of being the turf field.
Maybe Nebraska. Someone have to help me on that one. It seems like the Huskers might have a turf infield. 5-0 here, Aggies wanting more. Chad Hudson.
And you can notice occasionally too on some of our camera shots that it's lined in center field. The football team gets a little bit of work here.
Well, actually, I was told yesterday when I asked about that, the Texas marching band comes over here. So the utilization of facilities.
You can see here the lining in the outfield. It makes a great all-weather field, though.
.3-0, 1 out. Leonard pinch hit for by Hudson, and Hudson takes the strike.
It's not easy to come off the bench and jump in there and after sitting for 4 or 5 innings and make a contribution. It takes a special type of player that can get himself up instantly and be able to contribute off the bench.
Grounds it to Anaveras, just foul. 1 down in the 6th. Chad Hudson making Ryan France work.
Showing off the pipes there. Personally, I wore the sleeves as long as possible.
Any particular reason?
Yeah, I didn't have pipes. Well, if I had pipes, inch variety, you know. The PVC.
A partner long and lean.
Yes.
With the whip-like motion.
When I was 14, I was 6'4" and weighed 158 pounds. Good-looking guy.
Don't know how you ever got that name Emu either. Strike 3. Anderson steps out, throws him out. And there's 2 down as Hudson strikes out. 2 Ks now for France.
When I was 14, I was so skinny that if I stood there, the only shadow on the ground was a pair of lips. You see a curveball right there. Catcher able to block it well and get the man at first base.
Rodney Dangerfield has slipped into the booth up here, replacing Jim Curd.
Well, it's all true is the problem.
Truitt, the leadoff man for Texas A&M. 2 for 3. Couple singles. Grounded out in the 5th. Ryan France with the 0-1. Now up 0-2.
With all that muscle mass, I was 6'5" and couldn't stuff a basketball. Have you ever seen a duck jump? That's why they gave him wings.
You didn't have those mini tramps at your school, huh?
No.
0-2, 2 down. Texas down 5-0. A&M got a runner at third. This one lifted to center field. Emo goes back, makes the play. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left. A&M leads it 5-0.
Are you lonesome tonight? How does it feel? Out there all alone.
Hello.
So near.
My whole day has been like this.
And yet, so far away. Dr. Pepper's the taste.
He's so happy.
No one else can take its place. And
Hey, I know that guy.
You're lonesome tonight.
This year, Big 12 athletes are lining up, not only on the field of play, but to support another group of athletes, Special Olympians. Each year, athletes, coaches, and administrators from across the conference participate in a variety of Special Olympic activities, from tennis to swimming to track and field. The Big 12 Conference and Special Olympics have formed a winning partnership.
Some sports are better for the heart.
Special Olympics and the Big 12 Conference, a partnership for life.
Excuse me, number 8 bus go there. About number 9.
Who are you looking at?
Dry cleaners wouldn't take a check again, eh, Nigel?
Use Visa Check Card. It automatically deducts from your checking account everywhere Visa's accepted, so you can get what you need and get on with life. Make all of your shopping easier with the Bank of America Check Card.
Texas A&M with a 5-0 lead over the University of Texas. Bottom of the 6th here in Austin, home of the Longhorns. Chad Hudson stays in the game after pinch hitting for Steve Leonard. And he'll pick up Leonard's left field position. Back on the mound is Matt Ward. Ward giving up 4 hits through 5 innings, and 9, 1, and 2 due up for Texas. Woodward, first pitch, ground ball, shortstop. Scarborough, high throw. Tag on the base made by Cheshik, 1 down.
That's all the makings of an easy inning. Banging it right to Scarborough. This time he's got time to play in front of him. Little bit of a high throw. Elastic man at first gets him out.
And Ben Imon, the center fielder, 1 for 2. Cheshik to the pitcher, Ward covering. And that's why you talk about A&M. They're ranked as high as number 2 in one poll. This is kind of why. The pitchers know how to pitch. Their fielders can field and they can hit. They do it all.
This fundamental baseball, and you see the pitcher immediately breaking to the right side of the infield when the ball's hit over there in anticipation that the first baseman will have to field it. And that is why he was able to beat the runner by half a step.
And Ward, you see those zeros most important on runs and walks. Nicholson, 1 for 2. With 2 out, the hitter here for Texas. And Ward hoping for an easy 1-2-3 inning again. Well, in order in the 5th.
Ward came into this game with 2 base on balls in 43 innings, and he hasn't done much to add to it.
A 1-1.
I'm not impressed, though. I could do that in half an inning. They always told me I was royalty, the count of behind.
The A&M ERA, 4.09. Here's a shot to center. And playing on one hop is Truitt, and Nicholson's 2 for 3. But that's been the story for Texas. A base runner here or there, but nothing happening out of it.
See right here, pitch up in the strike zone. Ward hasn't made many mistakes today. They got that ball up. Batter able to drive it to center field. And Nicholson has got his first hit of the day.
Here's one deeper to center field. Truitt going back. Oh, mama. Reaches up, makes a nice grab to win the 6th inning as Cox flies out. Aggies still up 5-zip.
Have you been there? Where water and time find their canvas? Where dreams and flowers bloom? Where beyond each horizon lies another? The land offers an open, eternal invitation to roam, explore, wonder. There are amazing things here and there, which is why we try, in little ways, to protect it. Just something to think about the next time you need fuel.
I'm a student, and I do a lot of research on the web. So what I wanted, what I really had to have, was a powerful desktop computer. Then someone told me about Dell. I got on the internet. Dell built a desktop just for me. This DirectWay actually costs less. Okay, so I don't always use it for research. Cool.
Discover the Dell Dimension XPS with the next generation Intel Pentium 3 processor at 500 megahertz for only $19.99. With applications optimized for the Pentium 3 processor, you get smoother, cooler, more realistic 3D graphics. Add in great audio, video, and a big monitor, and you can get more lifelike games and a internet experience. The system also includes 2 new games, fast, easy internet setup with Connect Direct, and 24-hour-a-day phone text support. Dimension with Intel Pentium 3 processor at 500 megahertz, just $19.99.
I'd be lost without it. No doubt.
Be direct, Dell.
5-0 A&M as we move to the top of the 7th inning at Dish Falk Field. Heaney, Holt, and Cheshik due up for the Texas A&M Aggies. Ryan France coming back to the mound for his, what he hopes will be 2nd full inning of work.
You know, I wonder if Iman and France are roommates.
Well, we know they're not related to Emu. France working on Sean Heaney.
Good curveball right there.
Heaney flied out, grounded out, walked, then scored in the 5th inning. Came in on the home run from Dalen Holt, who's in the on-deck circle for Texas A&M. Oh, 0-2. And the second baseman, Heaney. Got him. Strike 3.
I'll tell you, this freshman has got some nice stuff.
Dalen Holt last time. Just listen to it. Jim mentioned over both fences. Didn't get an extra run for it, but there was a man on board, so it's a 2-run shot, and the record now 27 homers in a season for Dalen Holt.
You know, Ed, that may affect our flight tonight after this game because they'll have to get the radar fixed from that ball messing it up.
Got out of here in a hurry. Holt, Craig Kuzmic set the record last year for A&M, and it is really significant in that the bat restrictions taking place this year. And here's a dot that gets by the third baseman, Hauser, and Holt is aboard again. And to rule the base hit, a single.
Yep, got down on that ball. Pretty good pitch. Down and in. You see the catcher setting way inside. France got it over the plate a bit, trying to knock holes in the third baseman Hauser right there. Man with some power.
Dalen Holt aboard at first base as Anderson visits with his pitcher France. But Holt, 5th in the league in hits, 2nd in doubles, with their 7th in runs scored, 3rd in hits, and obviously leading the league in home runs, 3rd in RBIs entering this weekend.
And just a sophomore.
He is something.
He's got the John Curl look.
And they're keeping an eye on him at first base now. Holt has stolen some bases, 7 of 9 on the year. Cheshik, the hitter, with 1 down. Holt going. Hit and run into the corner. Holt will go to third as Cheshik sends him. Nice bit of hitting. Execution by the Aggies.
That's good play, too, because you got the first baseman holding a runner on. You got the left-hander up, able to pull that curveball right through the hole where the first baseman would have been had he not been holding the runner on. And Holt rounding second, going to third easily.
You might have seen Holt and Seabury tag second base on the inside corner. I mean, not wasting any steps. Brings up Dell Lindsay with 1 out, 2 on at the corners. Lindsay has struck out, hitting the double play and struck out.
Pitch outside there by France.
Lindsay anxious to get something positive for his day today. 5-0 the score.
Wonder what kind of computer he uses.
It's actually Cordell, Lindsay.
Advertising opportunities there when he makes the pros, huh?
Yeah.
Punch up your computer with Dell Lindsay.
Well, he keeps having these kind of years, and he'll be in the big show. Lindsay, 331 coming in today, 12 homers, 47 RBIs. Looking at a 2-0 coming up from France. Fouls it down the line. Elsewhere in the Big 12, Missouri 8-0 leading Iowa State, bottom of 6. Kansas State and the Sunflower speaking rivalry weekend, 4-1 over KU and Lawrence. And the Cowboys and the Sooners and Bedlam baseball tonight at 7 at the Brick in Oklahoma City. Lindsay. 2-2 now. He'll be followed by Porter, who came on pinch hitting for Sobek, stays in as the DH.
This man's got good power, too. He just nice and loose up there, keeping the hands back. You got to be relaxed at the plate. Ready to thump the ball.
And he does. A shot up the middle. 6-0 A&M. Lindsay gets his first hit and an RBI single, bringing in Holt. And the Aggies make it a half dozen. 3rd straight hit for A&M.
And Texas has Bo Hale down the bullpen working.
Well, that was not a great pitch to hit either.
No, that was a good breaking ball down and away. And I'll tell you, Lindsay just tried to take France's ankle off.
Lindsay said, enough's enough. I want on base. And gives the Ags a 6-0 lead. Here's Greg Porter. Grounded into the fielder's choice to end the 5th inning. Porter, an 0-1 count.
Well, when you take Sobek out and put Porter in, you actually gain some power.
Anderson thought he had the ball. It came outside, but it dropped from his glove, and the runners move up a base. Lindsay at second.
See right here, running fastball. Looks like he crossed up Anderson just a bit. Anderson couldn't get a glove on it. Actually did and kept it in front of him, but couldn't control it, allowing the runner to move up. But when the catcher is expecting a breaking ball and gets that running fastball, you've got to give him a lot of credit just knocking it down. And they're going to load him up.
Go ahead and put Porter aboard.
Well, 7 home runs, dangerous man. Hit a long one last night.
Well, and they've gotten a couple of double plays today. They didn't get it when they really needed it. When Cheshik came up after they intentionally walked Holt, he singled in a couple of runs. It was Lindsey that hit the double play right after that. But at this point, Jim, I agree with the thinking. You're down 6-0. You got one out. You got a guy who drove one over the center field wall yesterday. So go ahead and take the chances here.
We saw this yesterday that OSU did it to OU, and what you're trying to do is you're trying to contain the problems here. You're working on damage control. We're seeing Augie Garrido here, the Brain Trust.
Well, boy, if you're a fan of this series, you got to love it, though, because Garrido walks him, and Sean Schumacher, the former Texas player, sitting over there going, all right, so they want a piece of me, huh? You're not thinking, well, yeah, the strategy says load them up, get the force, the double play. And this one over Schumacher's head, and that'll bring a run in.
Well, that kind of messes up the strategy right there.
So France uncorks one, and Garrido's seen enough, I got a feeling, of Ryan France. 7-0 A&M.
Now, Ryan France had pitched pretty well until this inning.
Yeah, and he started the inning off with a strikeout of Heaney.
Just the wheels fell off the wagon, and I think we're going to see Bo Hale coming in.
So France leaves. We will briefly. We'll be right back with a pitching change, and Aggies up 7-0.
How would you like to win $1 million?
He went 4 innings, gave up just 1 hit, walked 1 and struck out 3. And was throwing in the 90s in that one. Well, he needs to put a halt here at A&M if Texas is going to make a big comeback. Aggies up 7-0. And here's Schumacher with the 1-0 count that he inherited. And this one gets away from Anderson, who scoops it up quickly. Bo Hale now 2-0 with 1 out, 2 on. And Texas A&M with runners at 2nd and 3rd and a 7-0 lead. We're in the 7th.
Hit him. Bo hits him in the thighs and haven't got a happy camper there.
And Schumacher, the former Texas player, saying, now wait a minute, they walk a guy to get to me, I come up, they throw one over my head, the next guy comes in and hits me with 2nd and 3rd and a base open. So this is what gets the blood boiling when it's A&M in Texas. I'm not saying I necessarily agree with him, but I understand his thinking, Jim.
Well, you got him just above the knee, though, and if you're going to hit somebody, you usually throw just behind him.
Well, France tried that.
Yeah. Well, you don't want to throw behind the head. It doesn't matter if you want to hit somebody or not. Everybody wants to play this game, and anybody that throws above the shoulders, nobody will have any respect for him, not even your teammates.
Well, and the other side of this is, if you're Bo Hale and you just went 1 1/3 last night and gave up 4 hits, and you come in this situation, do you really want to put more base runners on? You want to throw balls away and allow a runner to score?
No, you really don't. And the problem is, through 4 innings earlier in the week, threw some last night. He's going to be stiff and sore. I've thrown as many as 11 consecutive days in the game, and it takes you a while to get the muscles loose. You get a lot of lactic acid in those muscles from throwing the night before, and they just don't want to function. It'll take you 3 times as long to get loose as it normally does.
Well, Hale now with the bases loaded. And Scarborough, the number 8 hitter, the 1-1 count. On deck is Hudson. Seven nothing Aggies wanting more.
See, that curveball was up, not able to finish that. The body is just still stiff.
Hale, a sophomore from Mauriceville, Texas. Last year threw in 19 games. This one to the shortstop, Moore. Flips to second for 1 and over for the double play and does get him out of the jam. So Scarborough grounds into the 6-4 3-double play. But the Aggies pick up 2 more. Lead it 7-0 after 6.5.
As Election Day draws near, I feel it.
Texas A&M rolling with a 7-0 lead over the University of Texas, and doing it on the Longhorns' home grounds here at Dish Falk Field. And that's the way this series has gone so far. It started Friday night with a Longhorn pounding of A&M in College Station 18-6. Last night the Ags win here in extra 10-6 and 10. And today it's been all A&M with a 7-0 lead, and Longhorns trying to get it going here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Jason Moore, Sam Anderson, and Jeff Anaveros.
Matt Ward has pitched very well, too. Going into the 7th inning here, he's thrown a total of 72 pitches. Been able to control the ball well, keep it over the plate. A man that is not going to walk many. When he's in a position now, he hasn't thrown a lot of pitches. He's got a good chance of completing this game.
Texas with only 6 base runners. Make it 7. Base hit, Jason Moore, 2 for 3. Leadoff man aboard.
See right here, Matt Ward tries to come inside the fastball, leaves it out over the plate, and Moore is able to slap it into center field. Aggies need to get something going here. You don't need to score 7 in 1 inning, but you need to score 3 or 4 here if you want to stay in this game.
Well, Jim, that's the first time the leadoff man has gotten on for Texas. So we've talked a lot about their ability to score with 2 outs. Well, today they haven't had that charm. Now they may try it the more conventional way as Moore gets aboard for Sam Anderson, who was grounded out and also grounded into a double play.
And as we mentioned earlier, the Aggies have the great reliever, Chris Russ, down in the bullpen. 11 wins this year in 21 appearances, a 2.19 ERA. And they're just trying to get to him. There's not going to be a whole lot of waiting on Matt Ward if he starts to struggle here in the 8th or 9th inning. He needs to get through this one yet. Gives you a lot of confidence when you have somebody of that ability and having that type of season down the bully.
Yeah, and Russ, who did have the rough outing last night, even though he got the win, he came in with a cushion and walked a run in with the bases loaded and gave up a home run to Anaveros. But then he had the guts to come back and settle down. And once they got him that lead, then it was over. He took care of business. Some guys crater then, and they don't just tie the game for you, they end up losing it.
Well, Mark Johnson was telling us, too, that they call Russ the vulture in the dugout. But you have people like that when years are going well, things just work out. You may give up a run to tie the game, but the guys come back and score it for you.
He's having that year. But right now, Ward is hoping he's not needed.
I once knew a guy that was 13-5 out of the bullpen for Texas. You know, the same way. Give up somebody else's run and pick up the W.
And my partner did it smiling. The 1-2. Driven in the gap. That'll fall. Runner going to third. Moore. He's in safely. Runners in the corners for Texas to start the 7th with Anderson single.
Well, we see a messenger leaving the Aggie dugout, headed for the bullpen, take a message down to get somebody up. Fought off a pitch on the inside. See the catcher moving way in. Ward able to get the ball there. But Anderson did a good job getting ahead of the bat out, driving it to left center field, moving Moore over to third base.
And here's Jeff Anaveros. 7-0 A&M. Nobody out, though, for Texas. Runners at first and third as Ward is giving up back-to-back singles to start the 7th. Anaveros, who has struck out and popped up, getting his 3rd look at Matt Ward.
Man with 11 home runs. He looks a little intense there. Pitch up in a strike zone.
Anaveros led off the 5th. Got one on the handle, came inside a little bit on him, and had that look coming back to the dugout of, I hope I see him again. You know,
right.
Just that I want another shot here. And as a result, he's getting it. Meanwhile, a conference on the mound as A&M pitching coach Jim Lawler out to visit with Matt Ward as well as Cheshire. Big 12 tournament coming up. Jot that number down again. It's May 19th through the 23rd at the Bricktown Ballpark in Oklahoma City. It will be great fun. We hope you have a chance to come on up. With 8 teams getting into the tournament this year.
You know, I wonder if Cheshire's got a cat that disappears.
You just sit around and think of this stuff, you know.
Takes a lot of research before the game to come up with these, you know.
Ontiveros. High pop foul. Catcher Schumacher makes the grab, 1 down. It'll be up to Mike Pumo. Schumacher. Still doesn't look happy. I guess to continue that discussion with the home plate umpire that he was having after he got hit. Oh, don't you know that you like to be here? There's where we need to have our microphone down there. Forget that Fox cam with the catcher.
You just have to edit it, I'm afraid.
Strike 1. 0-1 to Pumo.
Change up down and away. Trying to keep the ball away from him here with 1 out. Men on first and third. You're looking for a ground ball. You can turn a double play and get out of this jam. Fastball just inside. Texas has been a good come-from-behind ball club all season long.
1 out, 2 on for Pumo with a 1-1. Lindsay for 1. Heaney's relay in time. Double play. And Matt Ward has got the shutout alive and well. Lindsay to Heaney to Cheshik. 7-0 Ags.
Have you seen it? The topic of every tree's whisper. The reason the stars twinkle. What every wing caresses. Look for it and you will fail to see it, even as it surrounds you. It's in our first breath, our last, and every breath in between. It is precious, this invisible thing called air, which is why we try, in little ways, to protect it. It's just something to think about the next time you need fuel.
Who is Speed Vision? It's the guys who put it all on the line. Guys like Andy Green, who can't go fast enough, and Alan Shepard, who did all of his best driving on the moon. These guys aren't Hollywood posers. They're the real thing. Think of Don Aronow catching air. Kenny Roberts grinding the toe off his boot. The Intimidator. And those guys with the right stuff? But you get the point.
This month, it's Mario Andretti in a month-long celebration of the Indy 500. Mika Hakkinen continues his quest for a second Formula One title. Live SCCA Trans Am and Peter Fonda starring in Race with the Devil.
Stay real, guys. Call toll-free 1-888-22-SPEED to get Speed Vision added to your cable channel lineup. Tell the man you've got to have Speed Vision. Where men are men and insurance agents are nervous.
Texas A&M with a 7-run lead, and coming up here in the top of the 8th, it's Hudson, the number 9 hitter, Truitt and Heaney to go against Bo Hale, the third of Texas pitchers today. DJ Jones went 4 1/3. France followed with 2, giving up 2 runs, and Bo Hale came in. Got a double play to end the inning after hitting Schumacher in the 7th.
Now, Bo Hale's going to have to try to hold him here. Aggies have been extremely tough today. Matt Ward, as you were saying, has just been able to really keep Texas in check, giving up 7 hits in 7 innings. But Texas hasn't been able to string them together.
Hudson with a 1-1. Yeah, and you look at Ward, he struck out 3 guys, Jim, in the first 6 hitters. Hadn't struck out a guy since, hadn't walked a guy all day. And even there in the 7th, he gives up 2 hard-hit baseballs, the first and second, and eventually gets the double play. This one, deep, bounces, and over the wall. It'll be a ground rule double to lead things off for the Aggies, Chad Hudson.
That ball was hit hard in the alley. Hit it in an area where it's about 390 feet to the wall. See right here, pitch out over the plate, trying to get it down and away. Got it away, but not down. Bounced it here. It's got to be 385, 390. And pounding on the Coca-Cola sign on the scoreboard.
Chad Hudson, 1 for 2 after replacing Steve Leonard in left field. And now to the top of the A&M order, and Steve Truitt. Truitt with a couple of base hits already today. Grounded out and flied out his last 2 times. He's 5 for 11 in the series. Shows butt, couldn't pull back, and it's 0-1.
It's not fair when you're expecting fastball. Attempt the bunt and see a slider. Boy, look at that bat. I mean, that bat has got a barrel on it.
In the dirt, Anderson with the stop. 1-1.
Checking out the ball. When you handle a lot of balls, it's amazing. You can tell a ball with a 1/4, 3/8 of an ounce different from a normal one, a little bigger circumference. And if you want to throw a curveball, you want one with big seams. Change up, you want one with no seams. It's surprising how much each baseball will vary. And just about twilight, you want a black one.
Right now, Hale would like one that cannot be hit.
Yeah, that's right.
Fouls this one off, and 2-2 the count. Gonna hold things up as Jason Cox go to retrieve that baseball out in right field.
Give the kids a souvenir.
Probably take that out of his scholarship. It's probably against NCAA rules. Wait a minute.
You lost your evening meal tomorrow night. Fastball up and in.
3-2. Texas A&M got 1 in the 2nd and then 2 in the 3rd, in the 5th, and the 7th. Here in the 8th, the leadoff double by Hudson has set up Truitt, who's got a full count pitch coming up from Bo Hale. And again, staying alive. Well, the Aggies living up to their lofty ranking. Number 2 in the country, according to Baseball America, behind Rice, then Miami and Cal State Fullerton, Augie Garrido's old ball club. Here's Baylor at 7, Tech at 15, Texas 19, and the Cowboys of Oklahoma State slide in at 24. So quite a league for Big 12 baseball this year. The walk given up to Truitt. Good at bat for Stephen. And that brings up Sean Heaney.
Texas has Phil Seibel down the bullpen, but he has been throwing for 2 innings. I think he's doing more work than he is getting ready for the game down there.
Yeah, he threw 3 innings and 43 pitches last night as well.
I think he's working on little stuff. Really don't see him coming into the 7-0 game.
Heaney shows bunt. He too gets a breaking ball.
If he did come into the game, I really expected for maybe just 1 hitter. Try to get a left-hander out.
Sam Anderson steps out in front of Heaney to give the signs as to if there's anything on defensively here.
Well, you've got a bunt play situation here, 1st and 2nd. Your field general in this position is your catcher, and he's giving signs. You can do the wheel play, have a 3rd baseman or 1st baseman charging. I really wouldn't expect a bunt with a 7-run lead, but they're just covering all the bases. You see him here looking into the dugout, probably getting some suggestions, shall we say, on pitch selection.
The 2-0 coming up to Heaney. High pop foul. Ontiveros, he never saw it. That gray sky, very difficult, and Nicholson came over to make the play, but I don't think Ontiveros, he looked up first and then just got out, did the smart thing, got out of the way. Nicholson makes the put out.
Well, he went back, looked like he had it. Then he decided to circle the wagons and lost it. Not an easy play for the first baseman. It's easier for the second baseman. And with all due respect to the first base position, your second base athlete is usually a little better athlete than the first baseman is.
Yeah, and usually a smaller, quicker type. And when you're running sideways and backwards, here's Holt. He has hit everything hard today. He's got 2 for 3 to show for it. Was intentionally walked the other time, as well as his 27th home run of the year. But even the put out as the runner advances to third.
Well, Hale is getting the ball down in the dirt a little bit. Anderson doing a good job blocking the ball there. Can't keep the runner from advancing from second to third, though.
I'm going to say about Holt, even that ball hit in the first inning that deflected off of Jones was a dot, and Nicholson ended up getting the deflection to throw him out. Then he was intentionally walked. Cheshik made him pay later. He homered in the 5th and singled hard off the third baseman the last time up. This one fouled back.
And the power numbers he's putting up this year, he's going to do nothing but get stronger the next couple of years. He's got a good chance, though, if he keeps this up, of not seeing a senior year at A&M for a while.
Dalen Holt out of Mesquite, Texas. And he and the catcher, Sam Anderson, grew up youngsters playing on the same ball teams in Little League and good buddies. Went different ways when it came to college. And here's Anderson now calling pitches, trying to get his old buddy out.
And went about as different as you could get in Texas, between Texas and A&M.
Hard to maintain that friendship.
Yes. That's an off-field friendship.
Holt, right fielder. 1-2. Throw back to first. Safe, sliding in. Stephen Truitt.
That was just a I'm thinking of you throw.
Why are you when you're down 7-0 right now and you got this guy at the plate?
Well, yeah, but what you're doing is you're looking at setting up that double play again. First and third, one out. There goes the runner.
Hitter swings, the fake to second, and Holt almost swung at that Jim like he was thinking he had another strike to give, didn't he?
Yeah, that gave you the idea of a hit and run swing right there, just trying to confuse the catcher and blur his vision. You see the runner going to second base here, but you want to stay out of that double situation. Augie Garrido coming out, and it looks like we may see Phil Seibel for one batter, as we talked about.
So Hale strikes out Holt, and he leaves. So Seibel will come in. We'll tell you all about him when we come back. Throwing people a little bit more than they might normally in this situation. The last game of a series, Jim, that by not having any rainouts, they're going to have to cancel a game originally scheduled against Southwest Texas on Tuesday. They won't play again until next Friday, so Augie Garrido knows he's got plenty of time to rest his pitchers after today.
Right, and you may want him to work on something against the left-hander here. Got something specific in mind for him to work on, and consequently a great situation. Like you said, they're limited to playing, what, 56 games total, I believe, on the entire year. You see the Southwest Texas, which is actually a fill-in because you assume that you're going to get rained out someplace during the season. They haven't had that scenario, and so now they're going to have to drop that game. And Southwest Texas, I'll bet that'll break their heart. Back outside again. Now suddenly Seibel's got himself down 3-0.
Seven nothing Aggies. Cheshik, 3-0 count on deck. Del Lindsay.
Seeing him out there talking to himself. Just off the plate again for ball 4. Walked him on 4 pitches.
And the base is now loaded. Lindsay singled in a run last time. Here comes Seibel's first pitch and misses.
Being a little fine here. Aggies got an opportunity to have another big inning here with 2 outs.
2 down to Lindsay. Bases loaded.
You know, I say another big inning, Bill. The Aggies been pecking away.
Yeah.
2 in the 7th, 2 in the 3rd, 1 in the 2nd.
2 in the 5th on the home run from Holt. Well, they haven't had the big inning, but they've just been there every inning. There's been nothing easy for the Texas pitchers. This is the 4th of the day, and this one inside almost got away from Anderson.
And Seibel's having a problem fine-tuning it right now.
In fact, only in the 1st inning did the minimum 3 hitters get up, and even in that inning, Truitt's led off the game with a single before being picked off. So A&M's had something going every inning. High fly ball, right field, Jason Cox. And they get out of it with the bases jammed in the 8th. Aggies still up 7-0.
Anything you can do, I can do better. I can do anything better than you.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can. Had enough?
Let's go.
Anything you can be, I can be greater.
Ready to stop?
Sooner or later, I'm greater than you.
No, you're not. I'm not stopping.
I'm not stopping.
I'm not stopping.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
They say for every boy and girl there's just one love in this whole world, and I know I found mine.
Oh. Here's an idea. With GTE caller ID, you'll know exactly who's on the line.
No, not the kids.
So you can decide whether to pick up or not.
Mom? Dad? Home early. Hello? Is anybody here? Hello?
Who makes the finest tools in the lawn care business? Echo, of course. Make spring cleanup chores easy with Echo's full chainsaw line. Make quick work of tilling beds and gardens with the easy starting cultivator. For the professional look, use the top-rated Echo blower line, or use the shred and vac for easy disposal. Echo. Now you can use the same tools the pros use. Available at
Welcome back to Dish Falk Field. Most of the Texas faithful sticking around, hoping for the big rally. Some have left the ballpark here. A&M fans in no hurry to get back to College Station, savoring a 7-0 lead in the rivals' ballpark at Dish Falk Field. Bill and Jim Kern with you as Texas here in the 8th with Hauser, Woodward, and Emal due up.
Matt Ward is still pitching well. Through 7 innings, 85 pitches. He can throw a complete game at just about 100, 110, which is a pretty good game if he lasts that long.
Ward giving up 7 base hits, striking out 3, but not walking a batter. Here's the 8th hit of the day as Hauser has got his first.
Ward came in with 9 appearances this year, 8 games started. Been a part-time pitcher, has done an excellent job today coming in for the Aggies and really stifling the Longhorns here. They haven't been able to get anything going. 8 hits spread over 8 innings.
There's a strike to Woodward.
There's that 70-mile-an-hour fastball on the outside corner, locked him up. It's not how hard you throw it, it's how well you move the ball in and out and change speeds. Well, let me qualify that. If you throw 95 plus, it is how hard you throw, but they're so few and far between. Those people are throwers and not pitchers.
Well, and you also have to like the way Ward handled it. he realizes he's not going to strike out a lot of people. So by throwing strikes, you're going to give up base hits. So don't get upset when somebody drills a ball, whether double home run or whatever, and realize that, hey, you got a good defense out there, good fielders, that more often than not, they're going to hit it at somebody. Here's a pop fly. This one will not be caught. Cheswick giving a chase to it.
Well, you can tell Ward's a good team player. He puts the ball in play and lets the people behind him look like stars, you know? Why take all of good press here myself?
Well, and the Aggies have yet to make an error today, whereas Texas has made 3. Texas pitchers, I believe, have walked 7. So sometimes that'll go hand in hand.
Yeah, the problem is when you're walking a lot of people too, your infielders get back on their heels because they're really not expecting you to throw it across the plate. They're not expecting the people to hit it, and they don't make the plays when you do hit it to them.
The 2-2, Woodward fouls this one off.
When I pitched, all my infielders had blisters on their heels.
Texas A&M 41-11 coming in here today. And the Aggies, incredible 28-3 at home with that last loss coming to Texas Friday night. That shows how impressive you're watching today, and you're maybe not totally impressed with Texas. When you go win a College Station 18-6, you got something going for you.
Well, especially when you throw it to them in the mercy rule in the 7th inning, too. 11 runs.
And you pound Casey Fossum.
Yep. One of the best in the nation.
Woodward. Oh, he couldn't pull the switch. And Woodward strikes out after fouling off pitch after pitch with 2 strikes.
I mean, you locked him up. He's looking for something outside big time, and he made 3 moves with those knees and just couldn't pull the trigger.
This is the ball.
4th strikeout.
I think he guessed 3 different times as that ball came in.
1 down as Ward gets Woodward, and out of the top of the lineup, and Emo. To the plate for Texas.
Well, as we said at the beginning of the game today, Ward is the type of individual you can have a very comfortable 0 for 4 or 1 for 4 often, just like DJ Jones. They don't overpower you. They finesse you into submission.
And he's sitting here in the 8th with 1 out. A 7-run lead. All the more reason, even if he weren't the type of pitcher that is going to let you hit it, so to speak, even more so. Put it away.
Ball slipped off the outside corner. Pretty good pitch.
Ben Emo, 1 for 3 on the day. He takes a strike, 2-2.
You know, you notice, though, with Matt Ward, they called the ball, so I'll move it up a ½ an inch, and they'll give me a strike. That's how close he is when he misses.
The 2-2. Grounds it foul. To tell you how effective Ward has been, even though Texas got those 8 hits, the only man to reach 3rd base has been Jason Moore. He led off the 7th with a single, and then Anderson hit a long single in the gap to left center that sent Moore to 3rd. And with 2 on and nobody out, a foul pop and a double play, and Ward was out of the 7th. Here in the 8th, a leadoff single to Hauser, a strikeout of Woodward, and now a 3-2 coming up to Ben Emo.
Yeah, this pitch he wants to make right here. 3-2 with 1 out. Still got a chance for a ground ball double play.
Elsewhere around the Big 12 today, as things wrapping up in 3-game series, Missouri pounds Iowa State. Beware of the Tigers. They got a pretty good ball club and getting better every time. K-State leading Kansas 5-2 in the 8th. Currently the 8th seed. Oklahoma State tonight. Oklahoma, pretty much a must-win situation for the Sooners because they finish up with A&M.
Well, if they lose tonight, too, they'll put them 2 games back of Kansas. assuming Kansas wins here.
Kansas State.
Kansas State, yes, and that'll make it very tough because they've got, what, 4 conference games left after this, and they're all against the Aggies, as you said.
And right here, the Aggies trying to put away Texas, leading it 7-0. The 3-2 again. Anderson, brother Emo, and the catch made by Haney as Matt Ward just throws strike after strike after strike. Woodward fouled off a bunch and then got locked up on strike 3. And Emo, really not a bad at bat, Jim. Kept making contact, staying alive, but never got anything he could do anything with.
And never hit one hard. To Matt Ward, a walk is what you do with a dog, and that's the only thing it means.
And brings up Nicholson. 2 for 3. Nicholson has hit the ball hard off Ward. Makes a strike for 0-1.
I'm sure even his dog wouldn't be happy with him. He doesn't walk often enough.
He's no, I don't want to get that habit.
That's right.
Another soft one. 1-1 to Nicholson. Both his hits have been singles to center field.
Just off the outside corner. Now we'll watch him bring it up half an inch like we said earlier and get that strike. He is around the plate. I mean, he has an outstanding touch.
Nothing but singles thus far off of Ward. Nicholson drives this one deep to right, and that one will go for extra bases. Holt pulls it down, and here goes the shutout. Texas is on the board on the RBI double from Nicholson.
Well, that's a moral victory for Texas right there. Ward was able to shut him down all day. See Nicholson right here getting a fastball out over the plate. Matt Ward has not made many mistakes today. Nicholson got one and took full advantage of it. Runner coming around to score.
So Texas avoids the shutout. That's the moral victory, if you will.
Yeah.
And they got a long way to go, though. Jason Cox, the number 3 hitter. Nicholson, a 3 for 4 day. Cox comes up 0 for 3. Last time Texas was shut out was opening day last year against Texas San Antonio. So they don't need to worry about that, but certainly want more here this afternoon as this one sliced down the right field line, just foul.
You figure opening day last year and to where we're at in this season, that's about 90 games without getting shut out. The kids over there.
They don't want to get shut out either, do they?
No, playing pile.
Yeah.
That kind of looks like a soccer game at that age, you know?
This one to right field as well. Holt back. He's got this one, though, and that takes care of the Longhorns in the 8th inning. They get on the board with a double from Nicholson driving one in. 7-1 Aggies.
For the most part, people look to their cars as a way to get where they're going. And if your car doesn't perform, well, you could end up somewhere you don't want to be. We don't want that. That's why for nearly 80 years, people from far and wide have counted on Phillips to get them on their way. Mile after mile, year after year. For all the miles to come, Phillips 66, the performance company.
This year, Big 12 athletes are lining up, not only on the field of play, but to support another group of athletes, Special Olympians. Each year, athletes, coaches, and administrators from across the conference participate in a variety of Special Olympic activities, from tennis to swimming to track and field. The Big 12 Conference and Special Olympics have formed a winning partnership.
Some sports are better for the heart.
Special Olympics and the Big 12 Conference, a partnership for life.
In every number, there is a question. Is there life after retirement? How far will your company go?
In every number, there is a question. And if you have the vision to see it, an answer. The CPA. You see numbers. We see opportunities.
We move to the 9th at Disch-Falk Field on the campus of the University of Texas. Bill and Jim Kern with you as the Longhorns trailing the Aggies 7-1 in the 3rd game of this series after they split the first 2. And Texas A&M in the 9th with Porter, Schumacher, and Scarborough up.
And still have Phil Seibel on the mound. This is not your basic happy camper up here to bat right now.
No.
Got hit in the knee last time up.
No, you're thinking Schumacher. He's on deck.
Yes.
He's still not happy, though.
No, he's not.
Porter.
Both these are big left-handed hitters.
Porter, the fielder's choice, and then intentionally walked for Schumacher. And, well, not necessarily for him, but to load the bases and give him a chance at the force play. And
who's over watching that runner on 3rd? Oh, that's a coach. Golly.
Here's the 2-1 to Porter. He's got him a hit. So Porter now 1 for 2 to lead things off here in the 9th.
Big night coming in here, fastball up and away, got it up in the strike zone, just drove it back up the middle.
Now here's Schumacher and Seibel.
Yeah, fastball inside might cause some confusion here.
That might create some fun here. We got a 7-1 game. Liven things up for those that have stuck around.
Breaking ball on the outside corner.
But like you're saying, I think Seibel's more worried about just working, making sure he's getting his pitching together right now.
Could be a wee bit of cultural shock going from Austin to College Station in your senior year.
Schumacher certainly adjusted well. Their leading hitter, 364, 7 home runs, 35 RBIs coming in, and got an RBI the first time up today.
He definitely didn't get cheated on that swing either.
And former Texas players going on to the Big 12 have done very well. Schumacher, remember Charlie Carter was here at Texas, went to Baylor, and had just had a great year last year, drafted fairly high.
French, a year or so ago, went over to A&M.
Here's a line drive caught by the left fielder.
And had a great year at A&M.
Pumo makes that put out, 1 down. And Scarborough comes up. Well, I think many times, obviously, when you have coaching change, you're going to have transfers to be expected. And I think the other part of it, too, is in baseball, where very few players, folks may not be aware, there's only like 11 2/3 scholarships for the entire program. Very few players are on a full scholarship. Yet there's a number of players that are there that are getting some aid, and you're going to run into situations where you feel you aren't getting your playing time, and maybe you would have a better opportunity somewhere else, or maybe you get a little bit more aid somewhere else. So I don't think it's frowned upon as much as it is, or viewed that way like it is in other sports when players transfer.
So that's why they transferred to Florida then for Gatorade, right?
Now, anytime you transfer to your rival,
yeah, I know.
You certainly can expect a little spice to be added to the situation, though. Scarborough, the 1-0, the pitch over to keep a look on Porter.
Yeah, that's a little bit of the in-your-face.
Yeah, Carter going up to Baylor's one thing, but to go over to A&M, that's another. Porter going. Popped up. Foul. Oh, he couldn't hang on to the baseball. Anderson.
That was a great try, though. He had a slide to stop his inertia from taking out the wall, still keeping your eye on the ball. Got a glove on it, a little bit down on the heel. Couldn't hang on to it, but outstanding try.
So Scarborough gets another opportunity. One on, one out. Top of 9, 7-1. Texas A&M rolling. And again,
if you watch catcher giving signs here from the center field camera, almost always when they put down the 4 fingers, it's a changeup. That fastball will quite often change. You see right there coming back 4 and then 1. Fastball up and in. Even with nobody on second base, they're using several signs. Just don't trust that umpire back there, you know?
How often will a catcher change his signs with men on base as far as which one is the actual pitch?
Usually you don't. A lot of times you use flaps, which is the first finger will just tell you which sign to look at, or use the second or the third. I never had catchers worry about it. If you thought somebody was stealing signs, call a slider outside and throw a fastball up and in. They'll never believe anybody ever again in their life.
The throw off the mark, and aboard is Scarborough.
Slowly hit ball, tough play for the third baseman.
And it's ruled a base hit.
See right here, kind of a half swing, check swing, stumbled getting out of the box. Third baseman came over, barehanding it, and on the run, it's tough to make a good throw with something on it. Pulled the first baseman off the bag.
So Scarborough aboard at first. Over at second is Porter. And here's Chad Hudson. He has struck out and doubled.
Curveball breaks right in there. Very effective pitch against the left-handers. When you've got a left-handed pitcher and a left-handed hitter, I think it's simply a scenario that the left-handed hitters do not see enough left-handed pitchers ever to get comfortable.
Phil Seibel's delivery, and just missing there.
That either went over or around the strike zone if it didn't go through it. On an average team with 10 pitchers, 3 of them will be left-handers, the other 7 will be right-handers. That looked about like the same pitch, but he got that one. And very often, Bill, the left-handers, when a left-handed pitcher does come in, those 3 out of 10, they'll get pinch hit for by a right-hander.
Yeah, you really have to earn the respect as you move up to be able to hit against lefties if you're a left-handed hitter. Hudson, 1-2, 1 out.
But you see people like we did yesterday with Casey Book out. I don't care who's throwing, he's going to be in the game for Oklahoma.
Home run there yesterday up at the Bricktown Ballpark. Takes it the other way. That'll bring in a run to make it 8-1. It may bring in 2 as they bring on Scarborough, and into second with a double is Hudson, and the Aggies pick up a pair.
We'll see here. Breaking ball down and away. I tell you, Scarborough went down really well with that ball to shovel it out to left center. See the runners coming around here. The only thing that would make the Aggies feel better about Friday night is if they could do the mercy killing here to Texas, you know, and score 11 runs and get up and close out the game. That might make them feel a little bit better.
9-1 right now, and back to the top of the order, and that means Truitt for Texas A&M. And you're seeing the Aggie bench, and we talked a little bit about the depth of this team. Yesterday, Porter homers as a DH. They bring in the left-hander, and they come off with Sobek. He homers with a 3-run shot in the 10th. Then today, here's Chad Hudson comes in for Leonard. He's got a pair of doubles and driven in a couple of runs. You got Sobek, who walked, scored a run early. Porter comes in. He started this inning with a single. And here's another base hit right up the middle. Truitt has his 3rd hit of the day, and it's a 10-1 Aggie lead.
Well, the Aggies' bats are still hot. Breaking ball gets it up over the plate. Got to be able to knock that ball down back up the middle if you can as a pitcher. All your great Hall of Fame pitchers was also great fielders, and it'll help your ERA and your win-loss average considerably. Just the ability maybe not to catch it cleanly, but knock it down and deflect it so one of the infielders can get it.
After 2 runs scored in 3 different innings for A&M, they break out of that with 3 here in the 9th, and it's now 10-1. Love those odd innings today. 2 in the 3rd, 5th, 7th, now 3 in the 9th. Pop foul. Ontiveros couldn't chase. Nope. Sean Heaney. Get another opportunity. Seibel back to the hill. Heaney's flied out, grounded out, walked, struck out, and popped up. Did score a run when he walked back in the 5th. Otherwise, 0 for 4 for Heaney.
Just off the inside corner.
1 for 11 series for Sean Heaney.
Phil Seibel's definitely getting some work in yesterday and today.
Over his head to second on the bag, and the double play as Moore takes care of it. Heaney, one of the few Ags frustrated. It's A&M with a 10-1 lead going to the bottom of 9.
How does Fox Sports News get up-to-the-minute coverage in excruciating detail from all over the country at once? Well, option 1, get it from our own regional networks who telecast over 4,000 live events a year.
Option 2, clone me.
He put the biscuit in the basket. From way down, bad. Yeah.
The horrific consequences of which we as simple human beings could not foresee.
Soccer network on Earth. Fox Sports World. Call your local cable or satellite provider.
Tee it up every week with Golf Texas as host Bill Worrell takes you on a tour of the state's finest courses with special guests, tips from the pros, and courses you'll want to play on your next golfing excursion.
I bet you don't get this kind of view every day you tee it up with your friendly foursome.
And this season, Golf Texas takes you behind the scenes for a special preview of the PGA Tour stops in Houston, Dallas, and Fort Worth. Golf Texas, Saturday mornings at 10 on Fox Sports Net Southwest.
This is Fox Sports Net Southwest.
Well, the Aggies, not yet, but well on their way. Bill and Jim Kern with you here on Fox Sports Net. 10-1. Longhorns, a 9-0 deficit going to the bottom of 9. Jason Moore, Sam Anderson, and Ontiveros, the 4, 5, and 6 hitters in Coach Augie Garrido's order up.
Once an Aggie, always an Aggie.
And Matt Ward going for the complete game, his first of the year. Ward scattering 9 hits to the shortstop, Scarborough, 1 down.
And that was pitch number 116. You stay under 125, that's not a lot of pitches. Being inherently wild when I started, an average game for me was 150.
Brings up Sam Anderson. Anderson grounded out once of them, twice, once in a double play, and then single to left.
And there's Ward still coming at him, throwing strikes.
Struck out 4 and has not walked a batter.
Change up, strike 2. Horns managed to get 1 run off him last inning in the 8th. Total of 9 hits in 9 innings. And been very stingy with the walks.
Aggies have worked 2 double plays to help Ward out. Texas Talk about what could have been a really long day. They've had 4 double plays defensively. And A&M has left 10 runners, even though 10 have scored. Here's the pitch to Anderson outside. 1-2.
Although putting 20 runners on base and scoring 10 isn't a bad percentage.
Take that, won't you? Here's a base hit.
Texas isn't about to give up yet.
Anderson the single to left and Ontiveros. Well, you know the Texas fans would love to see Ontiveros just rip one out of here, if nothing else. All right, we took care of that shutout business last inning. Let's put one out of the park on this guy.
Don't like the looks of this 10-1 score.
But of those 10 hits, only 1 extra base hit, and that was the RBI double from Nicholson that brought in Texas' only run in the 8th. Aggies have got 14 hits of their own, and they haven't made any errors either, so Ward's gotten good support. Ontiveros 0 for 3. 0-2 now.
See a good control pitcher right there. That pitch looked a little bit low and a little bit inside, but when you're always around the plate, you're going to get the close pitches. And Matt Ward has been around the plate all day long. Going back outside just off the plate. Now as a hitter, you'd almost have to start looking for that breaking ball down and in.
Come on, Jeff.
Tough to lay off him and tough to hit.
To the shortstop. Scarborough flips to Heaney and back to first. Aggies win. Ontiveros grounds into the double play. The third of the day for the Aggies defensively. And Matt Ward goes the distance, scattering 10 hits. And A&M wins the series with a 10-1 victory here this afternoon. Second-ranked Aggies improve to 42-11 and go to 21-5 in the Big 12 Conference. We're back to talk about it right after this.
Is there an underdog in you?
By GTE, proud to be the official telecommunications consultant to the Big 12 Conference and the NCAA. By Nations Bank, the official bank of the Big 12 Conference. By Gatorade, the official sports beverage of the Big 12 Conference. By Dr. Pepper, the official soft drink of the Big 12 Conference. And by Gateway, the official computer company of the Big 12 Conference. Matt Ward bumps it to 5-0. An impressive pitching job as Texas A&M takes care of Texas 10-1 the final here today and wins 2 out of 3 and winning both games here in Austin. Sets up the standings like this. The Aggies at 21-5. Baylor at 18-6. Tech, Texas, Oklahoma State, then Nebraska, Missouri, K-State, and Oklahoma. And Kansas and Iowa State. The top 8 go to the Big 12 tournament, and we will be there for the championship. For Jim Kern and our entire crew, this is Bill Land saying so long from Austin. Our final score, once again, A&M 10, Texas 1. Don't forget to join us for the Big 12 Tournament Finals, May 23rd for the Brickyard Ballpark in Oklahoma City. You've been watching Big 12 coverage of college baseball on Fox Sports Net.